Hello, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my pen pal experiences, and I just wanted to say whoever I meet at any time, no matter how little I understand someone else or how much I understand someone else, or my limitations of communication, which I do have, and because it's I always see everything through my own lens, of course, and not through someone else's. So I don't know where all the landmines are. I only know my own landmines, and then I always project, of course, out, and I am treading carefully in those areas where my own landmines are, my own whatever trauma and egoic things and stuff that would possibly make me feel depressed. Then I will be careful in those areas with other people, because I just don't know where the problem areas of other people are, particularly if they don't tell me. So, and naturally most people would not tell me, because that's why it is a problem in the first place. So it's those sensitive areas are the ones that are the least talked about in whole society, and that's why I'm making these videos, because I'm trying to get the word out and encourage people to think about these things more in depth. So I just want to say right up front, whoever I meet on the internet, I love you all, Natasha and Bunny and another person who I don't think wants his name revealed, and numerous other people who do not want their names revealed and who never even told me their real names. So I appreciate every single one of you, and I understand fear, I understand why you are afraid. My husband is very, very afraid. He would never even show his face. So, because he's been beaten up in the past. So I understand, people who have been beaten up, they're really scared of ever even being noticed at all, being a sore thumb sticking out. I've always been a sore thumb sticking out anywhere I went. Even if I tried to disguise myself as the masses, it wouldn't work. I have such a different energy level. Even when I'm in line at the post office, if I am lucky, I have a nice lady standing behind me who will compliment me and say, "Oh, you're glowing. There is such an amazing energy around you." And that's a real big compliment, and I'm very happy about it. But most people in that same line, the other 10 people in that same line, they do not like me. They do not like my glowing energy. And I don't know why that is. I have no clue. I had a Swedish girlfriend one time in LA who said her theory was that I'm kind-hearted, and that kind-heartedness creates some kind of like a squeaky clean reflection surface, and other people will mirror themselves in that reflection surface. I kind of find that a little bit far-fetched, but maybe it's more like, maybe it's somewhat, maybe what she means is that I'm showing some kind of like a unbalance of homeostasis. So it's like when I meet people, or back in school at the university in Berlin, when I was studying psychology, I would go and during lunch break would would go get myself the dinner or the lunch and I would have my lunch plate and I would find a place to sit somewhere. So I see these folks that were in my semester and I go up there and I say, can I sit here? And they all say no. And then I say, okay. And I'll go to the next table. And then they go, oh, I was just joking. Come here, sit here. And today I would just say, okay, never mind. I'll sit at the next table. I'll sit there by myself. That's okay. But at that time I was 26, 25, and I just didn't know better. I was still very naive. I thought I would have to. I thought, oh, she was just joking, She's a nice girl. Today I see when somebody is joking like this, then that's also a form of extreme passive aggressiveness and verbal violence, if you want. So it's a form of verbal violence to say to somebody, no, you can't sit here. It's a discrimination against somebody, even though it is public domain and everybody has the right to sit there, basically. But I respect that when there's a group of people sitting, even though there are other places there and they don't want me to sit there, that there is absolutely no problem. I will just walk to a different place. And if nobody wants me to sit anywhere on the table, then I will go I'll go outside into the hallway and eat my food by the window, on the windowsill or something. I'll sit there in the yoga position, have the tray on my lap or something like this, and look out the window. That's maybe better even. So there'll always be possibilities for me to find a way to sit or be or exist, around other people who do not like me. And this is a absolutely red thread throughout my life. I am not liked. And I also, of course, I see that in my videos. Most people do not like my videos. And I have gotten tremendous insults from people already. That usually happens under other people's videos. But once in a while it happens under my own videos as well. But if it's really badly offensive, I might delete it. But if it hurts me when I see it, then I will delete it just to protect my own feelings. But usually whatever people have to say, if it's just plain simple criticism, or even if it's criticism against my looks, I will leave the comment standing, unless it is very offensive and violent and just brutal, just barbaric. Then I will delete it. But I just want to say that whoever I meet, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate every single person I meet, and no matter what their psychological problems are, or their physical problems, or their addiction problems, or whatever it is, I appreciate every single one. As long as they don't come after me and they'll say something that will hurt me very much, particularly as a mother bear. I'm a mother bear. I love animals, and when somebody says something very derogative against animals and against my mother bear love, then what do you expect? Then I will have to draw the line, okay? And I will say why. I will always say why I have to draw the line and why I have to cut it off. So it will never be a surprise with me. And I wish other people could do this too. If there is any chance, I wish that other people could also tell me why they are done with me. I wish this would be possible. Maybe a lot of people are afraid. I understand, you know. It's okay. I mean, I'm not like putting the gun on anybody's head. I'm just saying I would really appreciate it. I would be very grateful to you if you could tell me why you cut it off with me, or why you just completely like drop it, just like that, and or even unsubscribe or unfriend or whatever. Just let me know why that is. I am very receptive for any kind of productive criticism, as long as it is not brutally hurtful or deliberately hurtful to devastate me, to make me cry or depressed or something. You know, if it's a productive criticism, I welcome it, you know. And sometimes that hurts, but that's not meant to hurt, it's just meant to speak out, and that I appreciate very much, you know. If somebody, my husband constantly says something like this, like I talk too much, my videos are all about me, I should make videos about technical things. He likes technical things, so because of that he thinks I should make videos about technical things. But the technical things happen to not be exactly the area where I'm interested in. So I'm interested in psychology and learning and growing and meditation and all of this. So that's why I talk about this. I sometimes use my own life as an example, or as an anti-example, as I already said, what I do with my book, News from Betty. So anti-example. I'm also learning as I'm writing. I'm becoming more clear. I'm sorting these things out for myself, right? And I know it probably comes across as extremely narcissistic or something, yeah. But you know, if it comes across as narcissistic, then there's really nothing I can do, because if I talk about this chair here instead of about my stuff that happened to me, then how are we going to learn about the psychological things if I talk about this chair? You know? It's like not much to talk about this chair, except that this blanket here is made out of recycled plastic bottles, which is great, and the chair itself is from Wayfair. It's good price. I think it was like $100 or something, or 150, forgot. And it's awesome, and it works well, and it's a wall hugger, tree hugger, and it's I love that chair. And yeah, it's not much to say about psychological interactions, right? And that's why, or like if I talk about the transmission of the car, which he would really like to talk about for like 10 hours straight. But it's not what I'm interested in, you know. Before I met him, I didn't even know what a transmission was. It's like, I don't even have a clue right now much what it is. It's just, I guess it's just to convert from the engine into the motion, right? So I don't know. So every brain is different, and every brain has different interests, therefore, because the brain regions are differently developed, or there is more blood flow to certain brain regions in one person versus another, and that's what creates different interests. You know, I just am interested in psychology, always have. I remember when I was a little girl, I was afraid of ghosts, and I was afraid of this entire cosmos of energies. Yeah. And I had nobody to talk about. They called me crazy. So, and then I said to my mother when I was 13, I said, I want to study parapsychology. That didn't even exist as a study field. And she said to me, don't say that loud to anybody. And see, this is just one perfect example of how kids are being shut up very early on. It's like there are taboo subjects. So right there is like also what Jonathan Mese also stands for, is when there is a taboo, that's where you really want to dig in a little bit deeper. And so same with society, or same with friends I meet and they don't want to talk to me anymore. And I had such a sweet girlfriend for a while, but she was so hesitant towards me. And I got to talk to her and hang out a few times. And then she just, after the last hangout talk, she was just totally done with me. And I said, why? Why are you not talking to me anymore? And nothing, no response. And then another lady, an atheist lady I met on YouTube. Real nice lady, animal rights activist, everything cool, vegan. Yeah, talked to her for a while, and then she became very, I don't know, it's just the energy, I could feel the energy, very short cut off, and very, yeah, very resistant, and would not respond anymore. And I said, I need criticism. I need to know what I'm doing wrong, because I know I'm not a perfect communicator. I know I don't understand everybody fully, and therefore I don't know how I am interacting very well. So let me know, what did I do wrong? Maybe I can improve something. I want to improve it. I'm learning all the time. But no response, and this just keeps on happening. And so I feel like when there's no response, then there's some kind of taboo, and there's maybe a problem that is happening within them that really does not totally have to do with me. I'm just a trigger, so I am just talking a lot, and the more I talk, the more area I cover, and the more landmines will be revealed in this talking. And just when I meet somebody on the streets, and I think at first, oh, a liberal, or I'm not a liberal, but I like liberals better. When I meet someone on the street, for example, and the person is open-minded, or appears as open-minded, and the person likes Kenny, and so we get into conversation, and as soon as I mention animal rights, for example, that's when I see the energy dim in the other person. And then I see like, it's already like the first bloop, or whatever, they call it. So, and then in the end, they're still kind of like in harmony mode, but then they go like, I guess I'm gonna go now. It was nice to meet you. Bye bye. And I'm still in total harmony mode. And then I think, okay, I gave her my card, with my artwork on it, and my email address, and she never emails. Okay. And then I wonder why, I don't have her email address. Maybe if I had it, I would email her, and if she didn't respond, I would ask her why that is. But I have 2 contacts right now, to a man and a woman, a man from Switzerland and a woman from the United States, who I met under the suicide video, and they are not responding back to me anymore, and I don't know why. And maybe it's not because of me, maybe it's some other reason. But if it is because of me, then it would be very helpful for me as a communicator, for learning, if they told me what was wrong, what I did wrong. And if it is not really about me, but more about them, then I will also appreciate if they told me, and maybe we can talk about it, and maybe I can help you with, also tell you some of my own problems, and maybe we can learn more then together about this whole thing. So it's just a brainstorming that I was trying to get rolling. with my videos and with my conversations in general. But usually the people, when they don't respond, they don't want to talk about it. There is something painful, and that's what I am assuming that it is. It is something painful psychologically that they don't want to talk about, you know. Or for example, one time I made a video about, a long time ago in another channel, I made a video about this commercial for Jameson whiskey. I don't like whiskey, but I like the commercial. It was some kind of commercial competition for young filmmakers, and this Oriental lady from New York, she won that prize, and she had this famous actor, I forgot the name now. I think he played some kind of like a monster type of person, Spider-Man or something, and real great guy. Man, I forgot the name. I'm not into the movie world, so I don't watch movies, but I liked these particular commercials because they had they had independent film character, and they had something to say. And so it was a short film of about 10 minutes or something, and they were all like 10-minute short films as a promotion for this particular company, but it had the commercials, themselves were not, had nothing to do with that product. So it was just, they were just very intelligent, interesting, and thought-provoking short films. And so the one I liked the best was the one with the robot, an old lady about 80 years old. She lives in this very tacky, kind of like a mobile home type of house, very cheap, everything very tacky style, kind of like a dim atmosphere, and like this lamp here, which was here before us, and my husband doesn't want to give up. So those kind of things. And it was very well observed, and great actors. The old lady and the robot, they're both fantastic actors, amazing. They should get an Oscar for that. And so what happens is the old lady, at some point in her life, her husband died, and she bought this robot, some kind of future film, I guess, and something that will happen in the future. And he's a companion robot, and he takes the place of her partner, and even has sex with her up to the very last breath of her life. And they even show it, like how they have sex. And I mean, it is, gosh, it's so unbelievably, this message was so powerful. This, like this robot, he looks like he's like 40 or 45, and the lady is 80, and you don't see couples like this, in real life. Never. And so the robot never aged, of course. He's always been this man in his best age, gentleman, dresses up with a suit and a hat, and fitting kind of like into her lifestyle when she was young. And so I guess you can buy any kind of robot you want to fit into your needs and lifestyles at some point. And so he likes her no matter what. He cooks for her, he does everything for her, and takes her out to dinner and go places and have conversations, and is nice to her and loving and everything. And yeah, it's a robot, it's programmed to do that, but it's just this, it wakens up the idea of true love. And I talked about this in my video, and I was crying even, so I was not even like in a bitch ass type of mood. And then somebody got triggered so heftily by that video. That person came and said, "You are fucking ugly bitch. Shut the fuck up." And I left the comment because I think that other people should see that. People should see that some people have that reaction to this type of. So I said to him or her, "What is it that triggered you in this video?" Because I wasn't really being a jerk in this video. I was in a very defenseless type of mode. And he said nothing triggered him. I just should shut up. I'm a bitch. So, and then I said, well, you can go and watch Holly Madison videos and enjoy her then instead. And then he didn't respond after that. And to me it was like, it was crystal clear to me that obviously it could be a sadistic person who, when he sees somebody like who he thinks is weak because she's showing her weakness or her tears is regarded as weak, then a sadistic person will have pleasure in putting that person further down, making them cry more. So those people exist, of course. And then there are trolls who just are having a blast of being buttholes. This total blast. It's just this blasting through the internet and just blasting bullshit, just having fun. So those people exist too. But then I think also that maybe this subject of true love, because I was talking about true love, and that most people, they have lost touch with that true love. And so we should allow that back into our lives. And when we have true love, we are not that interested anymore. We're not putting looks and hotness on the highest pedestal. When we're in a state of truly loving, we don't care if our dog farts, for example. If we don't care if the dog fur smells like wet dog. I hear this all the time in the past, and people were even manipulated by this because so many talked about this, like, ooh, the smell of wet dog, I don't like it, and then I always thought about this, and I thought, the Great Dane, for my grandfather, when he came back in from the rain and has this strong smell, this little bit rancid body odor. And I was thinking about it. Why are they saying this? Why? Because I love that smell. I love it. And that's because I love that individual. I love these individuals. They're divine, and everything about them is divine. Yeah, even when I clean up the dog mess outside, the smell of the poop doesn't even bother me. But the Great Dane poop, a lot of dog poop is pretty intense, but particular Great Dane poop does not bother me that much. And I tell you why. I mean, I wouldn't want to have it on my shoe. I rinse that off right away. But it doesn't, it's not hard for me to clean it up or anything. It's just actually very relaxing going out there with my shovel and my rake, and I rake it all up. Also the other animal dung, the deer dung and the rabbit dung, I put that all into the compost, and it all decomposes with earthworms. So it doesn't bother me at all. I see this as a wonderful activity, actually. And the smells or the methane gases that come out of it sometimes doesn't bother me at all. So it bothers me much more to smell a human fart or something like this. That really bothers me. I have to walk far away when I smell that. But for me it's very clear, when you really, 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 truly love an individual, the smells from that individual, whether it is body odor dogs, they don't have that underarm bacteria stuff as humans have. So their underarms, they always smell clean and fresh and like vanilla. So, but even this rancid type of smell from the rain, I like it. I love it. You know, I love that smell. I could smell this all day long. You know, I could be there with him on the couch and just gently put my head on his back, and I smell his fur, and the smell is so great. This little bit musky smell. I love it. And so it's this combination of like having dog smell and having tree smell from outside, and I bring some in, and I have basil plants that smell good, and I have my essential oils, and this combination of smell makes me happy. So when I see somebody who says they don't like the smell of wet dog, that person is not really a total fan of dogs then, probably. That person shouldn't have a dog. They should probably have a cat. So I cannot identify with people who will say something like this, like that's what Richard said, you know, a while back. And so that doesn't mean I hate Richard. No, you know, I don't hate Richard. I care about Richard. I care about all of you. And Richard said a couple of nice things too, and he has a lot of good in him. You know, he has a very upbeat energy. It's just too bad that he has to drink, you know, and ruin his brain and his life, because everything goes downhill when people drink. Everything. I mean, it's not just that it blocks you from healing. It will run you really, really into the ground. I mean, it's like suicide. That's what drinking really is. Or drugs, you know, any of this. This is slow suicide, and I don't recommend it to anybody. So if you want to heal, that's the first thing you need to quit. It's all of these addictions, and nicotine as well. Need to quit it right away. It's not going anywhere. We have to say it the way it is. We have to name the kid by the name. You know. If we want to make progress, we have to look at the nitty-gritty. And this is where I come in. I'm here to do this, but I'm not doing it in a bitch-ass way, even if I come across as bitch-ass sometimes. But I do it because I mean well. I want people to start thinking about it, so that when we really go within, and when we stop ourselves from making these terrible act outs, then our lives will become so much better. I guarantee you. I can help you with this if you guys listen to me, if you make your lives better. Or that other girl that I talked to, who said that she wanted to mutilate herself, her body. You know. So that's not good. That's not a way to live. You know, that's just wanting attention from other people to help her. You can get the attention without having to hurt yourself. You know, you can. That's why I want so much. I want a website where all people can meet, where everyone is welcome, where every loner is welcome, every mentally ill person, every person who has difficulties with communication. I want a website where this is possible, and this is only possible if we create something where haters are not welcomed, where somebody who wishes someone else death or suicide is not welcomed, where this is right away detected, and where the person is barred from access. So that we have a website where people can feel safe, where they can say things, where they can voice their opinions, where they can also post research papers and even if they don't have a resource. Like, that's what Aaron Schwartz also was criticizing about Wikipedia, is when you post something there, then it is often censored, even, opinions are kind of censored. And in some way it is good, it is rigid, they want you to present them with resources and stuff like this, where you got that information from. But then again, all kinds of people like Richard Berman can go there and can post something that is distorted from the truth, and all he has to say is, here, I have my research here, and he will quote Kent Hovind or something, a fake biologist. So, I mean, this kind of stuff, is then they let that go by, and that's not cool. We need an interactive website where people post research papers and where there's a discussion evolving out of it, where other people have the right to say, wait a minute, I heard something else here. No, I heard this, or I heard this, and another person says, no, I think it is differently, and maybe we can turn this all upside down and think about it again and look at it from another angle yet. And this is how knowledge will come about. Only through a very vital interaction where nobody is censored, where everybody also has the right to say their opinions too. Because when I say that I was posting something on Wikipedia about some kind of mink animal, and that they are being slaughtered alive without anesthesia, and they barred it. They did not let me post this. They said, that's your opinion. And first of all, it's not my opinion that these animals are also at risk, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue that these animals are being slaughtered. Their fur is pulled off them while they're alive and conscious. Okay, so anybody who's interested in these mink animals and reads about them, their biology, they should also know about this, what's happening, what humans are doing to them. But no, it was censored and it was barred. And I know the fur industry has a gigantic leverage over institutions, including Wikipedia. That's what Aaron Schwartz was criticizing. That's why he wanted to have a more of a transparency in everything. Glasnost and perestroika. We need it. We need this complete reform. We need it. But he was murdered because of his activism. I don't want to get murdered, okay? So I just want food for thought. I'm not a hacker. I'm not a hacktivist. I'm not even going anywhere physically. I am sitting here at home on my computer and I'm giving food for thought. That's all. That's my only mission. And I will never make it as a politician. They will pull all kinds of sentences that I said out of context, and they will make me, they know how to make someone look like a complete nutcase to the public. But I am so far out there, they already think I'm a nutcase. But doesn't matter. Calm down, listen to this, let it sink in, let it feed your brain, and then start thinking for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Experience it for yourself. Compare things, question things, and things will get better. I guarantee you, for your own life, for all of our lives, we can make this planet a better place. We can turn this into a paradise if everybody was willing to look within and to stop the ego and the act-outs and all of this, and to sober up and to contribute to the well-being of all, and then everything will be good. So let's try it. Let's give it a chance. Let's go in that direction. It is not done through mesmerization, idolization, guruship, and so on. This is not, it's not done through this. It's only done through deep introspection.